Have Thatja here. I already hear the music. Amazing. So for this session, we're going to need a few things. We're going to need a pen, a piece of paper, a lighter or a candle, and a metal bowl. So if you have these things laying around, take a moment to get them. This session is going to be a little bit, we're going to have a little activity in this space. Amazing. And while you guys are all getting that, I'm going to go ahead and introduce Thatja into the space. Awesome. Can you guys hear me okay with the music? Yeah. Okay, perfect. All right. So we have Thatja here. She is a high performance mentor, a feminine leadership guide, and she helps women step into their feminine magnetism. And today she's going to be talking about owning your heart's desire. So with that, Thatcha, welcome to Emergence Festival. It's so amazing having you.
So much.
Still working okay, Mom?
Thatcha, I think we may have a little issue with the
How
Wi-Fi.
is my internet going? Okay. Give me a moment.
And Thatcha, if you can turn the music down just a little bit so we can hear your voice, that would be so perfect.
How is internet going?
It's a little bit better, but I think the Wi-Fi is a little bit spotty still. Can you all hear her? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can hear her clearly? Thumbs down if you can't. Okay.
Now should be better, my internet. How is that?
Oh, now it's a lot better. If you just turn the music down a slight amount, I think we'll be perfect.
It's completely off at the moment.
Amazing.
But Bali, guys. I'm in Bali right now, so the internet here is very Balinese. Loving it so much. Thank you so much. Thank you for this introduction, Chelsea. It's an honor to be here. Hello, gorgeous, beautiful humans of Crystalis Festival. Thanks for having me here. It's an honor. It's a truly honor to return to this sacred container alongside with these amazing speakers, Adam, amazing, and so many other friends that are going to be speaking here. So yeah, I have today an important conversation to have with you, and how we can own our desires and raise deeper into our true purpose, because that's what our desires are, like the desires of our heart is what it is. So yeah, so if it's the first time we have met, and I'm so excited to welcome you into this, to my world, and to this conversation. It's such a blessing to be in your space. And if you already know me, please say hi in the comments. And because we are friends and stuff, and I would love to know that you're here today. Yeah, amazing. So let's get started. Hello, beautiful people. Yay. All right, so my name is Thatja Andrade, as you already know. And for the last years, I have been working with heart center entrepreneurs and women that want it all, right? They want the business, they want the relationship, they want the lifestyle, they want to feel beautiful, they want to feel the fire, the passion, the abundance, the love. They want it all. They very really strong desires. And they feel very deeply. Hi, they are feelers. And of course, I love to work with this type of women because and support them, finding these true desires. The desires beyond the survival, beyond the needs, beyond fear, building resilience, and finding the true love. Right? We have been already in this space today speaking about love and truth so much. So this is an opportunity for now for us to go deeper into your own truth. Yeah. So this is what it is today. It's a journey. I want to take in that journey to really explore that the duality and that truth of your heart. Because the truth is, we are here to heal and lead with the love and intelligence of love, right? And when I say here, I mean in this planet. I mean, the reason we have incarnated is to burn the illusion that we are anything less than divine and interconnected with all that is, and sometimes it's about the shadow work that we hear about. So we can dive deeper into our subconscious and find this persisting light that's going to be revealing the tools for us. And the tools that are the talks, right? The meditation, the reflection, the rituals is more like about internal, like Adam was saying, heaps of compassion, movement, sound, and of course, community. So important. And we want our desires to be heart-centered. Yeah. The opposite of ego. The opposite of ego is heart-centered, right? When we're going from the small, wounded self to the higher self. And in terms of electromagnetic field, frequency, the heart's force is 5,000 times stronger than the brain, right? So love is the most powerful intelligence that does not, and desires and love and all of that is the guidance through the heart. So when we are tapped on, we are aligned with it perfectly in perfect time and reality, and we are able to open to our greatest potential to experience love, right? When it's like when an object or a person or something just fall in perfect alignment in your lap, and it's so cozy and it just fit in. It just feels good and it's like, ooh, this is meant for me, right? There's no hesitation. We can literally feel it. And of course, like, we're not working there with resistance at all. We are, it isn't even the fears and things, they're just not there. There's not what we're focusing on. We're completely anchored in this purest love vibration, trusting that in that moment, your soul is aligned to your desire, your true purpose of being alive. Can you remember of a time in your life of this purest moment of love? Like, when did that happen? Like, and sometimes it's just as small, like when you have your eyes closed and you're not even paying attention and there's something falling down on the floor. I'm just talking about alignment because that happened to me yesterday. And I was not even looking at it, but there was a book falling off. And I don't know why my hand just grabbed the book before it fell off. Like, it was complete alignment. I could grab it before. I was not even looking. I don't know how that happened. I don't know how I was able to just like grab it before it hit the floor. But I was just in the floor. I was just like in my body. I was just like in the moment, right? And then that's when we're like, ooh, and synchronicities, they happen and things just fall into your lap and you're just like, okay, I am where I'm meant to be. And have you ever felt that in your life? Give me shake your head, say yes, find that moment, right? So you can anchor yourself into that like alignment. But only after survival is fulfilled that we can access these truest desires, and I wish I could tell you like there is a step-by-step or a shortcut. I wish. But if you're looking for that, I'm so sorry. Thank you very much. That's not the class. That's not what we're going to be speaking about today. That's not why we're here for on earth and here in this class. And I am here to have a real talk with you. And sometimes real can hurt a little bit, but it's for the good, right? Because enough of pretending. enough of falseness, because we know what it takes. We know that it takes deep vulnerability. We know that it takes we need to dive into the unknown so we can access. We need to dive into the unknown nature of life, right? And I know that you have already done so much work, so much therapy, so much coaching, so much wellness, so much yoga, so much all of it. And you know so much about spiritual practices, they are about cleansing, right? They are about cleansing what we don't need. We don't need to look for the truth as much as we need to remove the lies that we believe in, because the truth is already there. It's like, it's you are it. Once we remove the other things, like this, all that is left is you, right? And you do that enough until it becomes like just the norm, and you just, of course, like focusing on that, but focusing on getting to know you, focusing on being you. But we haven't been raised to live like that, to live reflectively. We lack contemplation. We lack the support system. And at this point in time, in the age of Aquarius that we are entering, and is going to be there for the next 2,160 years, we're just getting initiated, to look within, because that's the only way that we can become one together. Because if we are not looking within, then who are we, right? And truly see beyond the lies that we have been told, because sometimes even our true selves, it's, our true expressions, it's like so scary to look at. And so, because sometimes it's gonna come as something that you are not really like integrated, and you're not fully acceptance of, right? But the new approach that we are entering, that is assisting the unity of collective evolution, which is when we are aligned with our own individual desires, and we can just move towards that, and we go from me to we, and that's the only way forward. And that's the highest stage of love and desire, and the real desire of your soul, your heart. So we pay too much attention to what is like outside, but the heart is not outside, it's inside, right? The guidance that is alive within, that makes us feel so alive, that makes us feel like, is worth living. It comes from the heart. Your truth is there inside your body. You just gotta pause, listen deeper than your fears, than the voices that you have been told, and feel the feelings and the emotions. You gotta feel the feelings and the emotions to alchemize suffering into radiance. And then you can see clearly. When we let go, when we are able to emotion release and really feel like, and really declutter, right? Then that's when we can, like, when we move past through the chaos, which is, if you are a woman, if you have a feminine nature, even if you're a man, if you have a strong feminine nature, the chaos is always going to be there. So it's our job to listen to the body and move in this chaos, and like move and release the residual and go deeper to feel what's not have been felt, because it wants to be felt. And until you don't feel it, you're going to be confused, and you won't be able to access your desires of your heart, and you'll be far from owning it. Because if you cannot even accept, and you don't make this desire a conscious process, right? There's a and I'm going to go deeper into that, but there's needs and there's desires, and the frequency of them is completely different, right? So when we have an intention, then and only then, with the conscious process, we can mediate anxiety into stability, right? The dark nights of the soul, into a new life. Relationships that have been broken, we can mend them. Loneliness, when we feel lonely, and melt into true intimacy. That's what we have been talking so much in this beautiful event. And this is a conscious process, the nature of desire, like we cannot destroy it. When you have a desire, you cannot destroy a desire. But the problem is that sometimes our desire is not even about us. It's about external. It's about our environment. For example, like if your neighbor has a big car, and what is your desire then? Then you want to have you want to have two cars like that, right? If that girl has like a big following and hundreds of comments in each picture, then what do you want? You want to have double of that. But most people's desire are just a reflection of and a reaction of the social situations they are living in. So if you're making a desire a conscious process, that is something that it's unique to you, an individual expression of your soul's desire to evolve and come back home to your heart. And truly, this is where we are at in this point, and that's where we are going to be at. And there will be all kinds of initiations. But a desire is a wonderful vehicle that will take you to places, right? Your desire, like when you desire something long enough and you trust that long enough, and you're like so in that direction, it's gonna take you to beautiful places, right? And it can take you to places where you just need to be initiated. If your desire is longing for the ultimate nature of love, then you're gonna experience true fulfillment. But if it's something that is unconscious, then you're going to be running around like a mad woman or a madman endlessly. And you're just like, okay, what I desire this. And then you're going to continue to desire, and it's never going to, you don't know where you're running into. You will just run in circles and into the same frustrations, and everyone has different fears. Everyone has different fears, different desires of not being loved. Ultimately, this is where the falseness of our desires will come from. This is where the need to be loved and the lack of it will get you to nowhere. And you're not going to find true satisfaction or fulfillment if you are in the falseness of your desires, anchored in the need to be loved. So owning the heart's desires has to do with self-love first. Yeah, we have been talking about it. We already know it, but it's and how deep can you give yourself the time to get to know you and to love yourself? How deep, how worthy of you are you of that time where you're just gonna be with you and you're just gonna be like owning that and getting to know that, going within, reflecting, feeling it all, and allowing yourself to be initiated, and allowing yourself to go through life experiences and hold that void of that life experiences that is presenting to you, so you can feel deeper into your desire, because you have made choices in your past that is not aligned with your desire, like your desire. How many of you can connect to your desire? Like, I see some hands up. What is that? Let's talk about it. Like, let's bring it up. What do you think are the desires of your soul? What is, allow yourself to just feel that, and allow yourself to be initiated too, whatever that desire is. And because time doesn't stop right now, this time right now is not stopping. So let's use it wisely, shall we? Because it's like a blessing to be here right now together. The universe has put us here in this moment together. And for me, like, it is a true blessing to be in your presence. And I want us to feel that. Not just, I don't want you to just listen to me, because that's not the real work that you're here for, right? You're here for transformation. You came here for transformation. So, this is a time where we can manage ourselves in this time right now to do this work right now, and to connect with that work of a lifetime. We're gonna go into an exercise, be Gerber, how to tap, like we're gonna be tapping into your desires. We're gonna go into that. So, we gotta manage ourselves to make that time for us and for your work of a lifetime, which is really listen to the inner guidance, right? So yesterday it was very fun, and it was super deep. I was having a real life conversation that could be recorded and turn it into a class and a podcast because it was so good. And I was having just like that, like this is the kind of conversations that I have with my friends on a daily basis. This conversation that we're having right now, this is the kind of things that I love to speak about. And I'm just like having conversations like that on a daily basis. And yesterday I was speaking with this friend of mine, and we were talking about, in the cafe here in Bali while we're having lunch, about the desires and our readiness to call in the desire and to manifest the desires, right? We were talking about the initiations that we go through of desire and being ready for them. Because once you ask the universe, like once you ask for your desires to be met, once you say, universe, I am ready, and then the universe is going to start working for it. Sometimes we are not truly ready. Like we know what we want is there. We're like, I'm not ready yet. Like, let me feel it all. That's like awareness, right? Sometimes we think we're not ready, and that's just fear. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the conscious process of calling in. But then we forget that we're being initiated, and the universe is like, it's preparing us. So there is a step of preparation. There's a process that happens, and that will look like sometimes a lot of pain before we can feel the pleasure of having that desire, right? And that's totally fine. So for that person to have that dream relationship that you all want, that you so much want, that love connection, she had to look into her shit. She had to go into her shadows, in her worst reflections, and she had to go deep. She cried and she cleansed, and he too, right? Like both. And otherwise we're just like two shadows, thinking that we are desiring each other, but we're just needing each other, which is not really the nature of what we want, right? So they prepared the space, they created the space to call it in, and like they even like they purged so much. They purged the self-hatred. I'm gonna get into that, right? Winia, I'm so sorry if I don't speak your name right. What do you mean by initiation? I mean, like, life is gonna throw at you all kinds of things. Like, you're gonna say, okay, I am ready. And then the universe is gonna say, well, are you truly ready to receive this kind of love? Well, let me see if you can hold that kind of love. And then it sends you situations where you are not going to love yourself, right? And then it sends you to situations so like, oh my gosh, can you hold the how do you say, can you hold yourself when people are not loving you? Can you love yourself when others are not loving you? Because the only way that you're going to be able to experience true love is if you love you, if you love yourself. So the universe is going to do what? Send you things so you can love yourself more. But before that, you're going to notice that you don't. And you can only be initiated if you fully own that. Like if you look into that shadow and you feel it and you do the work, right? And you do the inner work. How does that look like? The inner work. Oh, shadow work. How does that shadow work look like? Like owning, journaling, owning, like, oh my gosh, I having a talk with a therapist, or just like doing emotional release and beating the pillow and feeling the anger and feeling the shame and feeling the shadow and feeling the self-hatred. So when you get it off of your system and then you come back of not feeling worthy of it, until they become more, you're gonna like, you need to go through that, and then like there will only remain love, and then you're gonna start becoming more loving towards yourself, right? You're gonna become more gentle. You're gonna say, hey girl, like inner child work, all of that thing that comes up, that's the initiation. We are not initiated in this world. So life is initiating us. Like we don't have a process or a ritual or a foundation in our lives that we're like, okay, so now you're going to be initiated into loving yourself deeper. And then you're going to go through all these shadows, because like, okay, so if you go to indigenous tribes, if you go to tantric practices, if you go to like this really millennial wisdom stuff that happens in the world, these people, they are put into a series of initiations, right? So how does that look like? Well, pain, most of the time. Pain, right? So this is what I'm talking about. When we are able to have a lab, a container, then that's when we don't need to be experiencing that in like so much in the real life. So that's why we do the courses, that's why we have coaches, that's why we go into retreats, that's why we go and do the plant medicine, that's why. But if you don't do that inner work is going to present in your life, and it's going to present anyways in relationships, in life experiences. Is that clear? What does initiation mean? Please let me know. So, is until we don't feel worthy, until we don't become more loving towards ourselves and invest in getting deeper and deeper and deeper in that intimacy. So then, only after then, we can we become ready. But of course, the deeper you go, the faster you go, the more that you focus on the light, because we want to be focused on the light. Like this is the law of attraction. Like you don't want to be focused on the lack. You want to be focusing on the thing that you want. But if there is so many freaking shadows, you gotta deal with it. You cannot just ignore it and think, that's all right. So the test will come in. The test of our strength. Are you able to hold? The universe is gonna bring it on. It's gonna initiate you into that manifestation, into that, so you can manifest the things that you want into like your physical reality, into your spiritual, by feeling in your spiritual reality first. And that's the thing that we need to learn, to work with energy and spirituality. We have been telling you, but you don't listen. And then we're just like, I want this, the material, but it's freaking limited, the material. And you're gonna lose it. It's gonna go away. It's gonna go. It's gonna die. So then what do we need? More healing, more intentionality. We need to go deeper until we learn how to manage and maintain ourselves and our health in check, and our self-love in check, and our practices in check, and our daily moment by moment in check. I wish there was another way, guys. I wish. That's it. That's the only way. Intentionality. Yes, Nerissa. So daily, moment by moment, feeling the feelings, feeling the emotion, listening to the body, connecting, doing the things, doing the prayers, doing the journaling. I mean, don't be too hard on yourself either, Like, it's okay if you just, it's okay. Like, sometimes we're just too hard on ourselves and we cannot even relax into our desires. Then there's another conversation. So ask for what you want, and the universe will start giving you the lessons, right? See if that's what you truly want, to see if that's what like your heart wants or your ego wants, I made that one of my core values, and it's so connected to values, to desires, right? So connect. What do you value? What is it? What do you value? And then your desires are aligned with that value. So I value intimacy, let's say. So I will want to have perhaps like more alone time. My desire is to be able to surrender into deep love. And for that intimacy, I need to see me, right? So like, what is your values? And like your value is freedom. But then you are working a 9-to-5 job every single day, and you cannot even like feel who you are because you're so constrained into a schedule and you don't even have time to be yourself. Yeah. And then we remember when we are initiated, we remember who we are. So yes, it takes courage, it takes courage to go there and experience it. But when you are in your heart, then you enter like this vortex that you can fully melt, that you're just like fully aligned. And it's like you're already there, and it's already there. Everything is already there waiting for you to own that you are worthy, to like call it in. And it's there waiting for you, because it's just waiting for you to say, yeah, come, I'm here, I'm open to you, I'm you. Even if you need to be initiated, like I truly believe that like knowing what you want and then just like being fully open to the experiences of initiation, like, yeah, it's perfect. And then we're gonna look back, and when we actually have that desire that we once were so fearful of, but we worked for it, like we relaxed deeper into it, and when that come, and then you're like, oh, I'm actually so proud of myself, that you even like, you look at your challenges, you're like, wow, yes, that's it, I am so powerful. And in that moment you're like, I got this. I now understand. Now it makes sense why I had to go through all of this, why I have to clear it up so much, and why I had to feel so much and so deeply. Now it makes sense. It's very powerful. So when was a time in your life that a desire that you truly wanted came true? When was that? What was that? Maybe it was like a moment, like an event that you went. It was just like, it could be simple, like just like a connection among friends. You have like all these beautiful friends around you, and you were like, oh wow, I really wanted that, and now I'm experiencing this beautiful moment, or that love. And you just look like next to you on your bedside, and you're like, oh, how gorgeous this person is. I wanted that. I waited for that. I worked for it. I'm like, oh, and you have this orgasmic feeling inside of you of like, oh, it's all worth it. Just relax into it, and yes, this is truly powerful. So when is that time? When it was a time in your life that you were like so present, so like, oh, that fuck yeah, that's so good, and you were like perhaps so courageous to admit, and like, yeah, I'm sure that in that moment you were fully there, present, right? So what was the process that you went through? It might come as like you had to go really, really deep in that moment, and in that moment you had like literally nothing to lose. Sometimes we gotta go really deep to own the things that we want and to own our deepest desires. We really need to like dig deep, and like, okay, now I have nothing to lose, right? Can you guys hear this in my background? A little bit. I can move places. Like if it gets too annoying, I can just bring my computer outside. All right, just let me know, because I don't know why they decided to. anyways, initiations. So in that moment, you have nothing to lose, right? Somehow, like there's an opportunity in front of you, and you have been living in a falseness of life. Like I know for me, like when I was working 9 to 5, when I was not completely owning like none of it, I was so afraid. There was a point where I hit a threshold that I was like, I hit the rock bottom. I'm like, what else is there? I'm like, this cannot be it. How can it cannot get worse? So can it get better? What do I want? Because I already don't have my time. I already don't have nothing like self-love. What do I want? What do I need to experience? And I asked myself. So, and then I started to pray. I'm like, show me, what do I desire? Give me clarity. I want to know. I don't even know what I desire, for God's sake. I don't even know. You're here. I don't even know what I freaking desire. So I had to like ask myself. I had to pray for God, for the universe. Please tell me. So sometimes, for the first time that you tap into like a really deep desire, it's gonna be like, whoa, do I want that? Am I able to do that? But that's like, it's usually the first thing. It's like your intuition. You tapped into. It's like, oh, okay, that's me. All right, it's me. Oh my gosh, it's me. I am worthy of it. Can I own that? Yes, you can. Am I even able to desire? Yes, you are. This is for me. This is for you. You can have it all. You can desire that. You can desire. You can desire. I'm much more than worthy. People say, I am enough. I'm like, that's so not sexy. Like, I am enough. Seriously, can you just be divine? Can you just be like extraordinary? Like, I really don't resonate when people say like, I am enough. I'm like, honey, you're so much more than that. You're just like, so you're freaking divine, you know? But are you willing to hold yourself there? That's the point. Are you willing to be initiated and to become, you know, a divine being, goddess, a god? Like, this is what in ancient wisdom we would believe about ourselves. It's not something external that we worship outside. So the question is, are you able to hold through the void from where you are now to where you want to be? Because we're all in the same place. Me, you, Chelsea, everyone in here, we're all at the same spot in the void from where we were to where we want to be. Right? So are you able to hold that space? And just like, how do you hold yourself there? Do you trust? How do you nourish the soil? How do you, like, life is teaching us resilience all the time, right? And believe me, I know very well how hard that is. You know, it is so hard to believe that this is for us. And sometimes we meet failure, and we meet rejection, and we meet that thing that is initiating us, but it's still, we don't know where it's taking us. Like, all we know is that we can hold that desire, and then everything else that is happening in the way is just alignment. Beyond that moment, beyond that, you know, you're being initiated to your destiny. And alignment is truly a choice. Like, we're aligning each and every single moment that we listen to our hearts. Sometimes in the world, we don't give ourselves that time to go within because we are worried that we are not doing enough, right? So we get busy. We get busy being productive, and we are running out of time, right? We are running around and we are going nowhere, because if you're not moving towards your desires, then where are you moving towards? Whose desires is it if it's not yours? Someone else's desires is. So who owns your desires? Who's owning your desires? If you're walking to somewhere you don't desire to walk, please just freaking stop. You know, just be where you are, just connect to yourself, just pray, ask, adjust, you know, and then you can start moving to our heart's desires. Because that's the only way that we can connect to spirit, to something that is beyond ourselves, to our legacy. But we must declutter these channels, right? So the heart desire is the heart desire, it's not the head desire. That's why it's called like the heart desires. So are you talking to your head? We are all in the void, Allison. Allison says, I'm in the void right now. We are all in the void because we all want more. And that's the nature of desire. We all want the next thing. Once you achieve a goal, you want the next thing. But the thing is, are you talking to your heart in this moment? Because like in the void, you can give to your heart in that moment. What is that your heart desire in the moment? Is it a hug? Like, is it your inner child? Like, what is it? Because knowing the difference from desire and need, and I'm gonna pull up like a post just so you can go faster. It's like something that I love is understanding desire and need. And I'm gonna read for you. So desire and need, right? Desire is it like exciting. When you feel, how do you know if you are in need, in lack? Because need is lack, and desire, it's just pure pleasure and alignment. So when you're desiring something, it feels so exciting, and it's like you are living in abundance, right? You see the beauty of things, versus like feels frustrating because you don't have it. Feels like you're living in scarcity. So desire is like a vibration that you are practicing. Need is also a vibration that you practice. So the desire that I'm talking about is the desire of the soul, and that's the desire that I wanted to tap into today. It's the beauty of life, not the ugly, like not the fear of not having, right? Not, it's like you are taking powered actions, like we already talked about today. You know, you're seeing the possibility, the improving possibilities of things. So when you are aligned with your desires, you're like, oh my gosh, I can see pure possibilities as of survival mode, because we can only desire once we get out of survival mode, the true desires, right? Otherwise it's need. So you're like a humble visionary when you have a desire, because you are willing to go through the initiations. You have a vision, but you're like, you know what, blah blah blah, I am just willing to go through the things that I need to go through. And people don't realize that sometimes, having the things that we want to have, it's very painful, but it is the process. So when you are in need, you become pretentious. You're like, oh, I need that, because me, because me, me, right? And then when you have a desire, you're like in your purest intention, and the other one is ego driven. Is more like, what are people are gonna think of me if I have that? And then desire is authentic, and the need is false. You need to prove something to someone else. So yeah. So another thing that happens, and I'm gonna go super fast right now because I do want to give you like a little practice, a little mini, ritual. So what happens is, like, when you take away the possibilities, because sometimes we have so many possibilities and we get confused with so many things that we can choose from. When you take away the possibilities, then you have no problem, because desire, sometimes you can feel like it's a problem. It's like when it's a need kind of desire, you're like, oh my gosh, I need this, I need that. Like, take everything out. If you don't have food, your only problem is that you're hungry. But if you have food and if you have a roof over your head, then you have lots of problems. Then you don't have only one problem, you have lots of problems. So like, take away all the possibilities, and then there will be no problem. Like, if you have too many options sometimes, then you're like, oh my god. But possibilities, they that's life. Without the possibilities, then you're dead. Then there's no life. So no matter what happens, our human nature seems to be always unfulfilled. We want always the next thing, because physically we are bound to be in this boundary of material world. But there is something within us that is constantly like inspired to break this boundary. You know, we want more, we want more, we want the next car, we want more money, we want more better apps, we want the next boyfriend, we want the more, the better. We need to bring to the heart and experience it beyond the physicality of things, to find that space within and that peace within, and just like satisfaction and gratitude, excitement to where you're going, but really grateful in that thing that you have already manifested, because we're creating the tomorrow right now in this present moment. So what do you desire beyond your ego? I ask you now. And I wanted to get a pen. I don't know if you prepared yourself for this, but I want you to get paper. If you have a paper and a pen and a pencil, and I want you to start writing in one of these papers, what is your desire beyond fear, beyond your ego, beyond what you think you desire, what you think you should desire, the desire of your heart. I'll tell you mine to get started. I'll give you some examples. My desire is to just go to nature for like a week, 10 days, maybe more. I don't know. I don't want to put a date even. I just want to be fully in my spiritual practice for a while. I don't know. This is like, it's rare for me to have really deep desires. It comes from time to time for me, because I'm so committed. And for me, this is my desire at the moment. And it makes no sense. I have an online business I need to be on. I have courses, I have clients, and I have things, but it makes no sense. But I need to give myself this gift, because I am the one creating it all, and I'm worthy of that gift, because I'm doing this for me. And then I'm going to be doing this for you as well, right? And then I'm going to be doing this for the collective. So it makes no sense to that. But sometimes your desire is just like, I want to make love. I want to feel taken. I want to feel pleasure, or like, I want to feel like I'm trusted, and like I want a woman to fully relax and open. And I want to, what is your desire? I want to make this amount of money. And that desire, how do you know if it's a desire or is a need? Because it feels so good. It feels like, oh, yes. Like all your tension of your body just goes away. It's like, and then sometimes your desire is going to trigger people. Like I might be triggering you, like, what the heck? She wants to go to nature? And what about, like, what about me? Like, I don't have nature. I mean, I live in the city. I cannot do that. I don't have money. I can't do that. Oh my gosh, I don't have time. So like the desires of others might trigger you, and you're just being initiated. That's all that is. Just own it. Is that making sense so far? Can you feel that? Yeah. So I'm so much more worthy than. Can I tap more into my self-love? Can I allow myself to own that desire to be claimed and entered with deep depths of truth and integrity? Can I own that I need silence? Can I just own my space to be? Can I just freaking own my desire to travel and to feel it all? Can I just own who I am? Can I just own that I just want to be sad? Can I just own that I want to be held and supported? can you just own that desire to be held and supported? You don't know why you need that. You know, we're being guided in that direction, right? So who has already written your desires in the paper? Yeah. Okay, so all right, so quickly, let's in the other page, if you have another one, just write all your fears of not having that. Let's just deal with that. All right, let's just take it out of our way. Let's just transcend and transform and transmute right now that fear. So what are your fears? So you have a desire. So let's say I want to go to the jungle and I want to just be like turned off and tapped in my world, right, into myself. So what is my fear? That perhaps my clients are gonna feel that I don't care about them, or that what is your fears? Like, I want to be fully ravished and claimed into love. What is my fear? That then maybe after I open up so much, then I'm gonna be left. Or so what is your fear? Tap into that. What is that fear? Like, let's just freaking own that. Yeah, so put it in the paper. You know, I see you, I know you, I am you, right? We are each other's becoming in here. We are co-creating this experience. You do it, we're doing it together right now. Because your heart space right now, the center of your heart can hold you. We can hold one another. Our heart can reach one another right now. So you're the priority right now in this moment, tapping into that. You're doing for yourself, you're doing for others, you're doing for the whole. And there's so many things that you want to give, there's so many things that you want to receive, you know, but you are the priority of feeling that right now. You have done so much. Work, you have done so much, coaching, therapy, but I ask you now, if I ask you right now, if you can relate to the terms as such, like workaholic, you would probably raise your hand, right? If I ask you, who here can relate? Are you a workaholic? And you probably say, yeah. Because we're so much in the mind and in the doingness and in the falseness of the desire of having to. That's good, Gigi. That's very good. But sometimes even when we are relaxing, we are working. It's crazy. So if you go inward, you would be shocked how much caca, how much shit we take with us, and how cruel we are with us, and those fears that we have that doesn't allow ourselves to own our desires. Like, that is so freaking cruel. What, you just want to rest and connect to your spirit, and then you're not going to be loved because of that? Like, you just want to be like ravished and feel deeply loved, and then you're going to be abandoned? How dare you talk to yourself like this? How dare you? But we do. So we gotta own it. We gotta own it. That feeling of undeserving of what you desire most. Because if we don't, it becomes this vicious cycle. So as we own it and we burn that fear right now, that it's so pleasurable and so empowering to think, to want the joy, to live the joy. And there's so much pain in this world, and there's so many, and how dare I to want this? And then shame comes, right? But like, I have so much, I don't need more. But in the quantum field, there is no finite. The finite nature is material, and the nature is based in the quantum field. So reality is actually a reflection of what we create in the quantum field. So what if we could tap into that and just let go of the darkness and shame and the guilt, or just own it and then feel it and then burn it? So as you are done with writing it down, like, just read one last time the fears and the desires. And I'm not sure if you have, we're gonna do some burning in here. We have 5 minutes and we're gonna do some burning because it's time to do the work. Alchemize. So I would recommend a pot that's not going to break when it's contacted with the warmth of the fire. Do at your own risk. Please don't burn the house. Please. Disclaimer here, we are not responsible. Thatja, Andrade, and Crystallis Festival is not responsible for any damage that might cause. So do it at your own risk. Okay? Be responsible for it. All right. So guys, your life is your message. So if there's something that is not clear right now, we're going to be clearing that so we can tap into that message of our hearts. And I want you to, even after this talk, you're going to be having lots of amazing talks today. And I want you to hold that in your heart. Like, this message might be recurring to you as well, you know? So like, prioritize this. Check in with yourself, like meditate for 10 minutes at least. Just today at least. And journal more. Like, just write and burn, right? Write and burn. This is our ritual. So you have written already your thing, right? You can have a candle or you can have a lighter. Okay? So we're gonna do this. We're gonna burn. So I want you to look at this. Breathe one more last time. Breathe. Let's burn your fear first. Burn this fear. Are you ready to burn your fears? Alchemize that and release that. Give me a yes. We're just freaking gonna burn the fears, Gigi. Yes. You don't need it. Let's do it. All right. So get it, safely. Go outside if you need to go outside. Go to the kitchen if you need to go to the kitchen. Wherever you are, don't burn yourself, please. And burn that paper slowly and surely. You can just like, okay, fear, I'm ready to let you go. You're not true. You're an illusion. I'm going to do it after this. Yeah, myself. I'm going to do my own ritual too. And you can I'm going to post it on my Instagram after. I don't want this to be about that, please. Not at all. But if you want to, claim that, just let's do it. You can tag me and let's freaking do it together. If anybody can post my handle here, well, I'll just finish this session because we have 3 minutes. So let's do it. Let's burn. Burn your fears. Let it go completely. Let's do this now. Burn it. Burn the fears. Burn it all. Beautiful. God. Do it. Then now you're gonna get other one, desire one, and you're gonna freaking let go of that because in your heart, let go of the need of that. It's aligned, it's in your heart. So burn it and trust that this alchemization is being sent and the universe is listening. It's feeling on a deep level. So go for it. Burn it. As you burn it, I'll do that face. I love you so much. We're loved. We're not gonna forget this desire so you can burn it. Continue. Okay, trust that. Yeah? Your message in your heart. So, guys, sleep. Trust yourself. You are the one who's inside of you. I love you so much. Connect with me on Instagram, Facebook, anywhere that you like. I'm here for you. Let's share. I have amazing things coming up after my initiation. Because I'm going to the jungle, going deep. I love you all. Thank you. Take a deep breath in. Close. Just one breath. Together. That's close. Thank you so much for having me, Chelsea. Thank you so much, all the team, everyone that is here. I honor you. I love you. Sending you love.
Thatja, thank you so much. I love seeing all of you out there. I see you burning everything. So amazing. Can we all take ourselves off of mute? Rub our palms together. And thank Thatja. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Amazing. So good. So amazing. All right. Okay. So now we are going to move